Solving quadratic equations is a very, very important part of the Form 4 Maths syllabus. It will help us in sketching graphs, it helps us with number patterns, and in several other sections. So we're going to start with a revision of quadratic equations. Let's start by solving the following equation for x. So x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Now you should remember from last year that if we need to solve a quadratic equation, we have to have 0 on one side, which we do. Now we're going to try and find our factors of 6. So what two numbers will multiply together to give us 6? Well, 6 and 1 and 3 and 2. Which combination should we use? Well, we need to add, because of that sign, we need to add the numbers to get the middle number. And 3 and 2 will give us 5. So our brackets will be x and 3, x and 2. And because that sign is positive, we need to use the same sign. And the other sign tells us which sign to use. So it will be x plus 3 and x plus 2. To solve this equation, the only way we can get an answer of 0 is if either x plus 3 is 0 or if x plus 2 is 0. If we solve these little linear equations, for the first one, I can take 3 over to the other side. So x is minus 3 or x is minus 2. Let's try example 2. X squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. In this case, again, I'm looking for my factors of 6, which are 6 and 1 and 3 and 2. And because the last sign is positive, I will add the two numbers to get my middle number. So again, 3 and 2 will work. But this time, because that last sign is positive, the signs are the same, but now the first sign is negative, so both my signs will be negative. And then I just need to solve each individual bracket. So either x minus 3 is 0 or x minus 2 is 0, giving me final answers of x is 3 and x is equal to 2. Pause now so you can take some notes. In our third example, x squared plus 5x minus 6 is equal to 0. So I have a 0 on one side. I can solve this equation. Again, I'm looking for the factors of 6, which are 6 and 1 and 3 and 2. But in this example, because that final sign is a negative, I need to find the two numbers that will subtract to give me 5. So in this case, 6 and 1 will subtract to give me 5. So my brackets will be x and 6 and x and 1. Now, how do we decide? That sign is negative, so the signs will be different, and that sign will go to the bigger number. So x plus 6 and x minus 1 is equal to 0. The only way this equation can work is if either bracket is equal to 0. So either x plus 6 is 0 or x minus 1 is 0. It is not necessary to write this step. If you want to go straight to the next step, you may. And we get final answers of x is minus 6 and x is 1. Let's try one more example. X squared minus 5x minus 6. Again, I've chosen an equation where we're using the same factors, 6 and 1, 3 and 2. Because of that negative, I need to subtract the numbers to get 5. So 6 minus 1 will give me 5. So my brackets will be x with 6 and x with 1. Now because that sign is negative, the signs will be different, and that sign goes to the bigger number. So it will be x minus 6 and x plus 1 is equal to 0. Again, you can leave out the step where x minus 6 is 0 and x plus 1 is 0 and go straight to final answers of x is 6 and x is negative 1. Pause the video now so that you can copy down these two examples. One final example, 2x squared plus 8x minus 42. Now we've got a problem. We've got a 2 in front. What do we do with that? Well, all of those numbers can be divided by 2 quite nicely. So straight away we divide by 2 and we end up with x squared plus 4x minus 21 is 0. So we need the factors of 21, which are 21 and 1, and 3 and 7. And we need to choose the combination that will subtract to give me 4. And 7 and 3 will give me an answer of 4. So my brackets will be x with a 3 and x with a 7. That final sign is negative, so the signs will be different, and that sign goes to the bigger number, so x plus 7 and x minus 3 is equal to 0. Solve each bracket, and you end up with x plus 7 is 0, or x minus 3 is 0. So x is minus 7, or x is 3. And it's time to watch the second video before we try some on our own. Thanks for watching Max Maths. If you liked what you saw, please like, share and subscribe.